Can you hear that when it says that?
Yeah, can you?
Yeah, I can hear my this meeting is being recorded. I'm excited. This is going to be an exciting, fun show. I can feel your energy. It's coming my
Yeah,
way.
we're kind of flying by the seat of our pants today, so it's going to be interesting.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of like life, though, right? Sometimes you're just hanging on for all you got, and you just got to try and stay on the ride.
Well, the thing that everybody doesn't know is that we are often naked together in the mornings.
That's true.
Via selfie. Andy and I take our ugly selfies in the morning and send them to each other very often. So this is nothing new to us.
Except for you have makeup on, and
I have makeup
my hair's
on.
done, and I have my glasses on. So
there. So.
Oh, wow. Well, Cheri, have I got the genitals for you?
If you've got an itch, Andy Vargo will scratch it.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Scrutiny with Cheri and Andy. I'm Andy Vargo and this is
Cheri Hardman.
And we are here to talk all things life, all things relationships, and also give it our own twist of scrutiny. How are you today, Cheri?
I'm great. I've been running all day.
Oh.
I'm a little frazzled. I came in, I shoved things in my face, like, just a bite of this and a bite of that. And that's like, yeah, but we have a guest coming, but she's running late. So There's a little bit of chaos. When she comes in, my dogs are going to go crazy. So just be prepared for a whirlwind of a show today, I think.
It's going to be fun. This is the first time we've had a guest, and they're coming to see you in person. So it'll be you guys together and then me here. So it's going to be a fun dynamic.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward
to it. How's your day been so far?
It's been good. I looked at something wrong on my calendar and didn't make it to the first meeting that I was going to go to. It wasn't a required like a client meeting or anything. It was a networking thing, but I messed up. I did bad time zone math and showed up at the end of it instead of the beginning. So so I've been kind of like frazzled all day too. It's just like off my game, I guess I should say. But
well, you think I think you know that yesterday I showed up for a doctor's appointment that was actually scheduled for today. So
yes, it's better to be a day ahead than a day behind.
That's true. So I went to Kaiser Permanente 2 days in a row, so that was lovely.
Yes, I saw your post today that you were dressed and actually there on the right day.
Yeah. And my blood pressure was really good. I wasn't there for that. I was just there to prove that I was still disabled. You got to do that every now and then. But
yeah.
So
well, that's good. And have you got some shows coming up?
I do. I have some stuff I wanted to talk about. So apparently, I didn't know this, but I do know now. Sunday, I will be on the brunch show at Tacoma Comedy Club at 2:00.
Oh, that's exciting.
So I just got that. So I will be there. So if you want to come out, have brunch. I have to do a cleanish set. So there will be no vagina jokes, even though my vagina is very clean. But yeah. So then I've got that. And then next weekend, I'm on my little mini tour with Ken Hamlet.
Ooh, that's exciting.
Friday the 23rd, we'll be at Willamette Valley Comedy Club in Kaiser, Oregon. So my Oregon peeps can come out. And then on the 24th, we'll be at the Center Place Regional Event Center in Spokane.
Oh my God.
We're going from Oregon to Spokane in just one night. So, or 2 nights in a row. So it's going to be interesting. I've never done that before. So
yeah. And then
go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say, and then you have to be back here that Monday for the first show, not your first ever, but your first new production and your new ventures.
I'm getting there, yeah. So first of all, I just want to say Ken Hamlet is hilarious. He is one of my very best friends in comedy. He was my best friend in comedy until he moved away and Andy moved in. So,
Sorry, Ken. This is your choice. We all make choices, but thank you.
yeah, and so then we'll come back on Sunday. We get to see the grandbaby on Sunday, and then
Oh.
Monday night we're starting a new venture. I started bubble wrap comedy,
Yes.
and we're going to be doing our first show at Odd Otter.
I'm excited. I'm going to be there. I'm excited to help in any way I can, and I'm looking forward to all the shows coming
And
up.
I want to show the
Yes, let's see the flyer.
I want to show the flyer because it's very cute.
We got
And
some awesome comedians on too. I can't wait.
yeah, I think it's going to be really good. So we have that.
There we go.
So that's Sunday, July 26th at Odd Otter. Most of the shows I'm going to try to do kind of co-features. So where like the two, they're doing kind of the same amount of time where it's not really, just one headline. They're doing a big chunk, except for the following month. I could probably kind of show a sneak peek of what's going to happen in August, don't
I'm
you
looking
think?
forward to that. Yeah.
I don't have that one pulled up, but I can do that.
And while you're pulling that up, I think there's a way that people can follow Bubble Wrap Comedy, isn't there, so that they don't miss any of the shows you're putting out there?
Yeah, I made a Bubble Wrap Comedy Facebook page. And as always with everything else, if I'm involved with it, it's on my website, cherihardman.com. So let me go down and find the one that I made for August.
I didn't realize you already made the August one. I knew you were going to do it pretty quickly.
Yeah. So, let me share so that we could see it. So for August, we have this, which you'll see why I'm sharing it here in a minute, because ta-da!
Boom, boom. Yes. Look at that.
So Gabriel Rutledge, who
That's
I have to say, at the risk of offending people, arguably the best comedian that we have here in the Pacific Northwest. But if I can get Gabe, I will get Gabe, and I will get Gabe to the point where we can't afford to put anyone else on the show but us. So,
but I get to feature for Gabriel Rutledge, which is so exciting.
You do.
I have to thank you for that, and that's kind of in my home turf. So I'm expecting a very crowded room of people.
Yeah, because people might not everybody knows that you work at Odd Otter. So.
Right. Yeah, that's my side gig while I get my business going, and so expecting to have a lot of regular customers. Plus, being in Tacoma, I'm from here. That's where a lot of my friends and family are. So it's an easy thing for me to try to pull some people. And now that I say that, if none of you people are there, I'm going to be embarrassed.
Oh, they'll come. They always come out for you, Andy. So you guys come out. It's Monday nights, but we're starting them at 7:30. They'll be out of there by 9 if you want to be, and home in your cozy little bed, all tucked in by 9:30 on a Monday night. And, sometimes Mondays kind of suck. So it's nice to have something to look forward to. So I think it's going to be a success because nobody really has comedy Monday nights.
True.
All right.
I heard a dog barking.
Somebody must be here. Yeah, so it might go crazy here in a minute.
All right.
So,
fun.
And what you got anything else going on that you need to tell us about?
I've got that show on that we just talked about coming up down the road. I'm just working on some private things. I've had more people calling me lately, which is exciting to do discovery calls and coaching. So that's picking up. So I'm really looking forward to just growing business and all that. I'm trying to get some more. I've been doing well on the coaching, so I'm working on getting some speaking gigs lined up. And I see that Cheri got tired of listening to me, so she just walked away. I'm just kidding. I know she's welcoming a guest because we are about to bring a guest on the show. And that means we are going to be rocking and rolling here with our own twist of Scrutiny. And I can see Cheri coming back onto the screen. Here it goes. Y'all ready for this? Oh, there's our guest. Hello, Tara. How are you? Don't talk yet. You're muted. Cheri muted the screen because of the dog. So I am monologuing. Welcome to the show, folks. If you are just joining us, this is Scrutiny with Cheri and Andy, where we talk about all sorts of things. And today we have our good friend, another comedian, the good witch from up north, Tara. And I only say that not because you're a witch, but because you're from up north. And I just didn't know how else to say that you came from up north to down here. So, and I can't see what your shirt says, but this is fun. Something only here. Establish blank. Oh, I'm only here to establish my alibi. Oh, I love that.
Yeah, true
That's
story.
Oh, now we can hear you. Yes. All right. So something's going on in the world that Tara doesn't want to be associated with. So we got her
Okay,
back.
yeah, everything, traffic. Anybody on the 5 headed south right now? It just took me over 2 hours to get here from Everett, and that's
Oh my
stupid.
goodness, that's crazy.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even put on makeup. I checked the traffic, and I'm like, oh, time to go. So my third eye came with me. This is awesome.
Well, welcome to the show. We're excited to have you here. It's gonna be
I'm
fun.
excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
It looks like Cheri. It looks like things are a little nipsy in her house. Get it? But that's the
Yep.
name for dog, Nipsey.
Scared. He's scared, so I gotta hold him.
He's making peace with the fact that I'm here.
Whew.
Milo's chill.
So
I feel like Mr. McFeely. I came here with a special delivery and everything.
oh wow. So Cheri, since we're doing heavy petting, if your pet could give you a review, what would Nipsey say about you as an owner?
He would say, quit inviting people that I don't know over here.
Mhm.
I'm
Okay.
a big wimp and I'm scared of everybody.
Hmm.
Stop. Look, this is my friend. I love her. She's very nice.
I know.
Ooh.
Okay, then you can get there. I'm gonna get him out of here.
Okay.
Only good vibes here, Nipsey.
Yep.
Good vibes only.
No, you have to get down.
Milo, go keep
You
Nipsey
have to.
company. Go tell Nipsey it's okay.
No.
I know you love me. I'm getting licked over here.
So Tara, we just shared with the audience some shows and stuff we have coming up. Do you have anything coming up you want to tell our viewers about?
I'm actually on my way to Port Orchard. Got a show tonight. I'll
Ooh,
be
wow.
at Peninsula Bevco for the
Ooh.
Peninsula Comedy Night.
Nice.
And that's a good room. It's a fun room. It'll be my second time performing there. And so, yeah, if you're in the Port Orchard area, head on down to Bevco. They've got great tacos. Mwah. Good food.
Oh yeah. I've
yeah,
heard
and the
good things
comedy is
about
going to
that
be
place.
stellar. So,
Nice. That's a good show. That's the room Keenan runs, right?
yes,
Yeah, he does a good job.
Oh, that's exciting. I haven't been up there yet.
it's a good room. I recommend it.
I'll be headlining up there in October.
Nice. All right.
I say,
So-
I drive dogs crazy.
I'm really bad, Cheri. I know we went through a list of stuff on Sunday, planned out all sorts of things, but did we have a specific list
No.
for today?
So I hope you came up with something because I did.
Nice. Well, sure, I have something.
Good. What I wanted to talk about, let me see if I can get, we're just having to, no, go up, so we're both in camera range. What I need to talk about is whether you tell someone you're in a relationship the whole truth about everything. Is that necessary or not?
Okay, let
You
me
know,
make sure I understand this right.
secrets, honesty.
Are you saying when you're in a relationship, do you tell them everything, or when you tell someone you're in a relationship, then do you open up about all your past?
When you're in a relationship,
Okay, that's part
are
of
you
it.
100% honest or not?
I think
No, wait, I don't want to say, yeah.
Omission gets to.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's kind of reasons I want to discuss that.
Okay.
That's my topic. So,
Okay. I love that.
what's your topic?
I have a couple. I don't know. I have a couple things to bring up, just situations I've encountered this week. So I just want to run them by you, get some ideas. It's not necessarily a topic. It's dating situations that I've run into, and I'm wondering what your take on it would be. So
Okay,
there we go. I've got that.
can I see what she brought me first?
Yes, I think that I want to see Mr. McFeely's or Ms. McFeely's package.
We'll do a live gifting. Okay, so traffic was crap and I didn't get to stop for a gift bag. So you get it with the packing. At least I hid it in some way, shape, or form.
Is there like a nice way to open this? or
No, just rip it.
rip
We're
it?
not saving it, Grandma.
Okay.
It's printer paper and blue masking tape.
I love it.
Yes, that's the gift.
At first, I thought it was an Amazon bag from here. When I just saw the white and blue in your hand, it looked like one of those Amazon bubble wrap packages because of the blue and white. So
Yeah,
that's
no,
a step
only-
up. That is a
only
step
part
up
of
from what I
this.
thought.
Came from Amazon.
Oh, wow.
Ah, look at that.
Oh, I love
That
that.
is amazing. Thank you. I love it. I love it. I love it.
You have been
I love
doing
it.
so many awesome things, and I want you to know I see you. I look up to you. I admire you. And you are on fire.
Thank you. This girl is on fire.
Yep.
And
So
for-
anytime you start doubting yourself or thinking you're not as awesome as we all know you are, look at that as a reminder. Because
Oh,
Cheri,
I
did
watched
you
a lot
make
of murder
that?
documentaries, Golden Girls, and infused a lot of love into every
oh,
scene.
good.
I was gonna say that's for the viewers. They don't know that you necessarily do all that. It's cross stitching, right?
It is.
Yes.
Yeah. So Kara made that.
I don't even know like how you could possibly do that.
I'm basically 80.
Well, I know, but still, you can't. An 80-year-old can't see to do that intricate of work.
Oh, you should see what I'm working on right now. I'm doing it's let's see, let's get it in here. It's about 2 inches by 3 inches, and it's Van Gogh's Starry Night.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm doing a teeny stitch just because I
Oh my
hate
God.
myself apparently.
That's crazy. The whole thing is that big?
Yeah, it's only gonna be
Oh. Oh my
yay
God.
big. I was gonna bring it with me, but I left the house in a hurry. So
Sure. Had to get that alibi on.
Yeah.
exactly, yeah. Like
That's
no, I was in
awesome.
Federal Way. Where the hell did I put my water?
You had to, I just heard it.
Hey, I found it.
Yeah, I told you this was going to be a little bit chaotic. I also have a pin that I bought so I could wear it to comedy shows, and I have misplaced it. And I know it's in here somewhere, and I would like to wear it.
Yeah, come on.
You know what I'm talking about, don't you?
I do know what you're talking about.
And it's going to cause a lot.
Makes me feel not very funny.
You know, like a button, a pin. Hmm.
Are you looking for it right now?
Yeah, I can't find it.
Here, you can wear this one in the meantime.
Oh, that girl is on fire when it comes to self-promotion. There we go. I will
Oh,
put
there
it
you
on.
Bitch
go.
got merch. Bitch got merch.
Nice.
Andy, I've got a pin for you too. I'll leave it with Cheri.
Oh, well, thank you. That's awesome.
All right, so our live video was interrupted.
Probably by a dog.
It's because we sang This Girl Is on Fire.
Oh,
That's copyrighted. Copyrighted.
Copyright. Yeah.
I wonder if that is why.
Rude.
It said it should resume shortly. Then just mute that part, okay? Facebook.
There we go. All right. Well, we got the full recording anyway. So,
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
are you good? Are you
Words.
settled?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So you want me to talk about my thing, or do you want to talk about your thing?
No, let's hear about your thing. That sounds good.
Well, I started thinking about this because I was watching Real Housewives of Beverly Hills last night.
Okay.
You know, I told you about Erika Jane and her husband. You know, he's accused of
Oh, yeah. He's the one that was accused of taking all the money.
taking money from charities or like from his clients who actually were injured, and he embezzled the money from them. And it's whether, we don't know, like we all think, well, society at large thinks that Erika Jane knows what was going on. Real Housewives seem to believe her that she really didn't know.
Right.
And so she said, you know, over the course of the years, she would ask him, like, can I see like our bank account or something, you know, stuff like that. He would never let her. I'm going to kick that dog. I'm not really going to kick that dog. Anyway, he would never let her. So there was always some secrets as far as money between the two of them. And so I was thinking about that. And then I was listening to Brooke and Jeffrey in the morning this morning while I was driving to the doctor's office. And it was a second date update, which is a local radio show for anyone who's out of town. And so someone has a date and the person doesn't call them back. And so they call the radio station. The radio station calls them to find out why.
Yeah.
But the reason that she was, you know, so first, the first person tells about the date. And the date was that she was telling him how important she thought honesty was.
Okay.
And so she said, you know, we have to be honest about everything. And they were out. And so she'd say, like, for example, do you think that woman over there is attractive? And he's like, oh, no, I'm not answering that, you know?
Yeah, that's a lot for a first date.
Right. And
This
then she
ties
kept
into
at
my-
him.
Yeah.
She kept at him like, well, you can just answer me. We've got to be honest. And then she's like, would you sleep with her? And so then finally he's like, yeah, I'd probably sleep with her. And then she got mad.
Because he was honest.
Because he was honest.
That's entrapment.
For sure. For
Yeah.
sure. So not that everyone's crazy like that, but it made me think of like my relationships with my ex, with Noah's dad. We told each other everything, like every deep, dark, dirty secret and fantasy. As for Dave, Dave doesn't want to know that stuff. Dave thinks that I used to be a virgin, even though I have 2 kids, or he prefers to think that.
Let him
I was
do
gonna
And
say
so
he,
we just,
he obviously doesn't pay attention during your stand-up acts.
no. No. So we have a different policy. Like, if you don't really need to tell each other, then just don't tell each other. And it actually works a lot better than I thought it would.
Mhm.
Well, yeah, and I can respect that because, well, first of all, to get into that, to put somebody in a position like that on a first date, that's just way too much. Like, you're not even giving them a chance to get comfortable with you. And
Right.
it's like, my response would be, well, I wouldn't sleep with you, so why would I sleep with her? But to be an ass. But I think that like what you have makes sense and can make so much sense, but it has to come with a solid amount of trust first.
Right.
If you have a solid amount of trust, then you don't need to know every single detail about the other person, and you don't need to sit there and judge and nitpick every single secret or fantasy or conversation that they could ever have with anybody. And so I think that makes, when you have that trust in a good quality relationship, then you don't have that need to have to say, oh my gosh, I had a dream about an ex last night, and then the other person isn't gonna freak out.
Now, which side, I mean, I don't want to be nosy in your business. Like, which side do you guys run on more
I'm
than?
here for a reason. We've actually played around with all of it. Like, there has been some mass oversharing where I know things about my husband that I don't want to know. I know things about his ex that I don't want to know, and probably are none of my business. If you're watching this, I'm sorry, but I know a lot.
Mhm.
And then he knows everything that he needs to know about me. But like I said earlier, there's omission in places. And while nothing that's hurtful or could like break us is being held, I'm not going to sit there and be like, oh yeah, this one time when I was 21, fill in the blank. It could be anything. But yeah, so there's
Right.
some level of omission, but there's also been mass oversharing. And I think that either way you could have hurt feelings. So find a happy medium.
So
Mhm.
what about, say, if you are out at a comedy club and a guy hits on you, do you tell that kind of stuff to your husband, or
Yeah.
do you keep it?
I tell him, because if I'm not reciprocating, then I've done nothing wrong. I can't control if someone's going to approach me. And a lot of times I find it funny, or I'll tell my husband and he'll be like, hell yeah, he hit on you. Yeah, that's my wife.
You're looking good tonight, right?
Exactly. And whereas with my first husband, if I was approached, then all of a sudden I was wrong and I was wanting to cheat and I invited it. So being in a healthy relationship, you can share those things. So I can come home and be like, oh yeah, this one dude came up to me. I mean, obviously I didn't give him the time of day, but here's what he looked like, honey. And there's even times where I'll be like, oh yeah, he was kind of attractive, but creeper. So I've already got one of those at home. No one needs 2 creepers.
With me, I think I tell Dave about that kind of stuff. If it's funny, or if it's someone I'm never going to see again. If it's a comedian that I work with or have worked with, I usually keep those to myself because I don't want him mad when he's at a comedy show. It's
That's a
never
good
going to
point.
go anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
He knows he can trust me. I know I can trust myself. So does he really need to know that and then be mad at that comedian for the rest of his life? No.
I had one of those
Yeah, and
situations where I did tell my husband and we laughed about it. So-
Really?
And it is a comedian that I still work with, but there's no tension. It's just
Mm-hmm.
my husband knows that his wife is fly.
There you go. I think also it depends on where you're at in the relationship. Because like your story from the radio, there's no way you need to have that conversation on a first date. You don't even know if you're going to have a second date.
Mhm.
Right.
You know, if you're maybe like, I could see someone having a conversation about who you find attractive in that state where you're kind of dating. If that's coming up and you're already married, or you're really, then it sounds really insecure. Like, why are you worried about who someone could be attracted to that you're already in a committed relationship?
Mhm.
Because I was put on the spot about that a lot in my marriage, and it was always that exact scenario that you described, where do you think they're pretty? Who do you think they're pretty? And then all of a sudden there's anger because you are honest about what you think. Um, so, so that's not fair, because that, and what unfortunately what happens is that creates distrust, because now the person who's answering the questions can't trust how someone's going to respond when they're honest. And so as much as the other person can't trust whether or not you're honest, you now can't trust how your honesty will be accepted. And so that breaks down that trust in the relationship more so than whatever information was shared, I think.
Well, yeah, I think anybody that's asking that question is most likely doing it from a place of insecurity.
Oh, definitely.
Unless sometimes there are those times when you see someone that's always getting hit on and you just don't get it, like you don't personally find them attractive, then I might say, do you think she's attractive? Like, because I don't get it.
Yeah, that's a whole different type of conversation.
Right.
I get that. Yeah, it's more that, what do you think people see in
Yeah.
that? But
Yeah. Now, what about money, though? Money might be a whole different matter when it comes to that stuff.
well, I think that I think that the things that we have to choose to be totally honest about have to be the things that have consequences within the relationship. And so if how we spend our money, if we're going to end up going to jail because we're embezzling it, that's probably something we should share in a relationship. Although someone doing that is probably naive enough to think that they're not going to get caught, not going to go to jail, and will probably end up going to jail as soon as they tell somebody. So
Alibi.
plausible deniability. I know.
You know that my husband and we have separate bank accounts.
I've heard that's actually healthier for relationships.
I like it because I don't. Well, he doesn't need to know how I spend my money because I'm a spender. He's a saver.
Yeah, I like to spend my money.
And that's just a philosophical, whatever kind of difference between us. That's always going to be that way. Now, when we first started out, I had bad credit and I was really bad with money. I did learn from him how to mind my money better. And now actually like my accounts are tied to the mortgage and everything. So like I pay the mortgage and he trusts me with that, which at the beginning of our marriage would probably not have been a thing. So, but yeah, I think keeping the money separate really helped because.
Yeah, I've heard that that's really good for relationship. When I was married, we never had separate money. In fact, it was hard to even have separate, like $5 to spend here and there. And that created so much tension because you never felt like you had the right to spend money on your own. And then you also felt like it was, at least for me, it was like it would always be judged or watched, even if I like had lunch with somebody or bought myself a donut in the morning. And then, I don't think it's bad to have a joint account if you have it for certain things, for vacations or for savings or something.
Yeah.
But I think that your everyday spending probably is best separate.
Well, and I also think you always need to have an escape plan. Maybe not always, but that's really important.
My grandma taught me. It was always have enough for 3 nights in a hotel room and money to leave town. Now it's turned into have enough for first and last month's rent, security deposit, your storage unit, and whatever. But yeah, we have a joint account. Like we each have our separate accounts, and then we have a joint account in the middle. Because sometimes I'm out and about, and I'm like, honey, I need more money. So then it's easy for him to transfer it to me. But
right.
Yeah.
Other than that, mine is mine, and he just kind of turns a blind eye to all the Amazon packages that show up on the doors.
Well, you know what's interesting, and I mean, Andy and I have talked about this before. When Dave and I went to counseling, like when we first were married, it's hard to be married at first, especially. And our counselor told us that money is one of 2 things for people. It's either freedom or security.
Mm.
And almost always a freedom will marry a security, which is exactly what happened in our household. He's a security, I'm a freedom.
That makes perfect
And
sense.
and if if your philosophy is that money is what keeps me a free person, if you are married to someone who's trying to tell you what to do with it, it's not going to work. You have to just respect that in each other, that that's their philosophy. It's important. So
Yeah, that's a really good way to look at it, because I think too often we interpret how other people are treating a situation in our language, and they speak a different language about it, whether it's money or trust or sex or whatever. That's why that book with the love language is so important and popular, because you're blowing off something that someone's trying to give you out of gratitude, or it doesn't feel that good to you, or like, because they're not speaking your language. But as soon as you can understand where someone's coming from and they understand with you, then you know how to accept.
like they're not trying to control me with their money issues. That's their security blanket.
That's their way to protect you, by keeping the money there, and yet you're going, but this is my freedom and I'm going to go have fun with it. Now you're holding me back.
No,
So.
And I'm always, I'm freedom is super important to me. I mean, that's why I was single till I was 49. So, I gotta have that. Gotta be me. I gotta be free.
I gotta be taken care of.
Me, I got it. See, Cheri, I'm living the reverse life, because I got married at 21 to someone I had been dating for 3-4 years before that time. And now I am like, I'm free. I don't know if I can ever go back in that cage. And so that adds different variables, because now I'm 45 and been single for 5 years, essentially, other than a 6-month stint dating a guy casually. I've gone on lots of dates. I've gone on some that were second and third dates. And I think that was kind of my topic for today, is that I've had a few experiences lately in the dating realm that I'm trying to protect myself from my own instincts. Because one of the things that I tend to do is I jump in wholeheartedly with people when I meet them, whether they are friends or anything. I want to know all about you. I want to know so much. I want, I'll spend, 4 hours talking to somebody over coffee just because I want to know all these things about them out of curiosity. And it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm into them. So that's misleading. But if I'm into them enough, that 4-hour coffee could turn into something again a couple days later. Or so then all of a sudden in a week, I've had 3 dates, and then someone starts using words way too soon, like we, and I'm like, oh no. And it's partially my own fault, because, I was okay up to a point, but I wasn't at all thinking, okay, we're going to be a thing now. And so I'm trying to be better about, okay, if we go on a date, then let's go on a date again in a week or 2 and give it time. But yeah, so I've had that scenario. I've also had a couple scenarios where I'm, working the counter at the bar, and a couple 3 different times this week, cute guy comes in, has a beer, have great conversation. One of them gave me his number. We chat a little bit. I don't know where that's going to go. But I purposely haven't texted back. Like we texted enough, when we exchanged numbers, and then, okay, see you later. But then I haven't done the whole, like in the past, I would have the next day been like, hey, what's up? So I've let it be. And then another one has come in a few days in a row, and I ended up hanging out and having a beer with them last night. And
where did you have the beer?
At work.
Oh, okay, just checking.
Because he was there at the counter, and I had ordered a salad from next door, so I ate it and had my beer next to him afterwards. And trivia was going on, so we played trivia together as a team. And anyway, we had good rapport, but I don't know if the guy's gay or anything, right? But so I text the beer tender. I'm like, is this a date? And he's like, I think so. And I'm like, fuck. So, but also I don't want to be that creeper that if someone, like, I worry that I don't want to always turn everything that could just be a really good friendship into something that you're pursuing, when I'm always happy to make friends too.
Okay, here's a question, because how often does one single straight guy go into a bar and start talking to another single straight guy he doesn't know and hanging out with them?
Probably more often than we think.
Really?
I think so.
I think what happens outside the ladies' restroom is the equivalent of what happens in the ladies' restroom for us. It's like support and camaraderie. And I think that single guys flock to each other at the bar just because they
Now, I
can't.
will say that yesterday I was wearing a tie-dye shirt and this hat. So
Oh, it was probably obvious then.
yeah, so I'm sure that
Don't wear that hat anymore.
What are those called? A pork pie hat?
whenever I wear this hat, I get hit on more than anything, which
Really?
is just hilarious because it's not even my favorite hat. It's kind of poofy and weird. But
Huh.
yeah, I was wearing my bright tie-dye Own Your Awkward shirt, white shorts, white shoes, and then the white hat. And
You thought you were a pimp.
maybe he was
He
looking for
wasn't
some
wrong.
word. So anyway, so I don't know. It's just like anyway, but that's happened a few times.
Yeah, I don't know how you handle that twist. It's like not only do you have to navigate the relationship stuff, but you have to first figure out if they're even
If it's
gay or
even a
straight.
relation.
Yeah.
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 I actually, one of my friends was telling me about that recently. She went on like 4 dates with a guy thinking that he was gay. And it wasn't until he was like, so you want to like advance this to a physical level? And she's like, whoa, wait. No.
I thought you were going to be my gay bestie.
Yes.
Which the poor guy, if he's giving off that vibe and he's not, that can really, I'm sure, undermine some of his confidence going out into the dating scene.
Yeah.
I don't think it was a matter of like flamboyance or his personality or anything. I think it was a matter of they were very platonically connecting.
Okay.
So she wasn't feeling like there was a romantic vibe. So therefore, you want to hang out, not romantically, you must be gay. Because
Right.
that's how we're conditioned to think.
Sure. Yeah. No, and that's yeah, so I'm trying to just be better about enjoying the moment for what it is. And worst case scenario, I have a great conversation over a beer or two with somebody and it's cool. Maybe I'll see him again. Maybe we'll be friends, maybe not. Who knows? But I don't know. Any advice out there, I am happy to take it. Because I did go on a non-date a couple months ago where I still don't know if the guy is gay or not. But we had a great dinner. We talked about doing it again. And I forgot to ask that question. And
Well,
I didn't.
You know what I think is that you keep repeating the same thing about going out with a guy for a little while and then they think that they're in a relationship with you.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you need to like, do you want to be in? I don't think you really want to be in a relationship with someone.
I'm pretty happy being single right now, but it's nice to actually have the chance to like have someone that you could come home to every once in a while. But
Honey, if you come home to them, that means that they're living in your house.
Well, not like, well, maybe they could just like visit every once in a while.
Benefits, but you pay half the rent. And
Yeah.
we'll share a bedroom and
Yeah.
our toothbrushes will live next to each other, but we're not in a relationship.
I guess I could say I have not found anybody that I'd be ready to be in a relationship with yet. If that could happen, who knows? But right now I'm so busy with my business and with things that I don't feel like it's fair to someone else I don't have time to devote to them enough anyway, to be fair. So
That is
I think you need to say that at the very beginning then. Because then you're otherwise leading people on.
yeah, I don't want to be that
If I
guy.
went on 4 dates with a guy, I'd be starting to think like, oh, this is a relationship. This is turning into something. Yeah.
I know, and that's where.
After 3 dates, you want to start calling someone your boyfriend. So
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why do they think they call it the 3rd date rule? Because it's like, okay, we're getting somewhere with this. We're going to have sex. And
Oh, wait, what's the 3rd date rule?
About till 3?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I didn't know that was the rule.
I didn't know people wait till the 3rd date.
Apparently
Yeah,
in some
Dave and I had sex before we even actually went on an actual date. So,
Well,
we made it to the 2nd date.
Well, there are people that I know several people who had kind of a friends with benefits thing as their, that was their connection, and then later it turned into a relationship because
That's the
Oh,
prequel.
I raised my hand, but it was the one that nobody could see. That's how we were. You know.
yeah. And I know some friends that I wouldn't mind if it turned into something down the road, but you know, when you're just both in different places, then it's not a thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Huh.
So that's my week in the single life review.
Well, that's interesting. We're getting to know you a little better and your dating quirks.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. You got to learn how to save yourself from yourself sometimes, and I think that watching for the patterns that you do, like you were saying with the lots of dates and stuff, then it can stop you, at least like for myself, it'll stop me from, if I pay attention, from going down that road again.
Well, it's interesting because it's way easier to give other people advice than it is to listen to your own advice. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's definitely true.
I mean, I think for everybody, like I can give the best advice, but then I can just totally like screw up my own life.
Well, and I mean, I say that all the time with the stuff that I write in my books or my life coaching. It's, hey, I have this thing I tried once and it worked really well, or I helped somebody through this and it worked for them. I've tried to apply it myself and I am not consistent enough. That is my worst strength. When I did a strengths finders test, consistency as the bottom of the pile. So if you can do this better than I can, you should be a rock star. It's like, if you can pull this off and do it.
Good way to look at it. Yeah.
It's like, I try not to devalue the ideas that I can bring to the table just because of my inability to follow through on them. But
see, even when he talks about himself not doing something well, he still makes it sound so good.
Right?
oh my God.
My Strengths Finders thing came back with woo and storytelling. So I don't know. Maybe I should.
I can see that. Woo was in my top 10, which is winning over
What do you
others.
mean, woo?
It's winning over others.
First.
Or
Or
winning
winning others over.
Yeah.
What is this?
It's manipulating people.
What is this? What is this test?
It's a Gallup Strengths Finders test. And so you go on there, I think it's like 50 or 55 bucks. You take the test and it gives you a rundown of your strengths from A to Z with a really clear breakdown of your top 10 and how to use them. So for example, my top strength is futuristic and my second one is strategic, which is why I do a really good job as a life coach and helping others and solving problems in business environments, because my strength, meaning that the things that are really easy for me to do, it's really simple and natural for me to look to the future and think about a strategy to make it happen. And so I'll constantly be working with a client or with people where they're like, oh, I really enjoy this. I think this is fun, but I'm frustrated here and there. And I'll start asking them questions like, well, what if you did this for your life? What if this was your business? Or what if you turned it into this? And I get these looks like, wow, no one's ever had that idea, or I've never had that thought that I could actually do this full time, or that I could make it something. And then we start talking about ways to do it. But for me, that's the futuristic and the strategic working. The other thing that's in my top is the maximizer. And that's the one that I had texted you about, Cheri, where I had said, I took this test and I found out that my maximizer tendency means that I look at things and my instinct is to always figure out how to make it better. So when someone brings something to me, I might say, oh, well, what about doing this? Or could you do that? And it doesn't mean that it's not already good, but that's just my inclination is to go, but how do we ramp it up? And so with the Strengths Finders, I got a really good breakdown of my top 10. It was woo, positivity, communication, strategic, futuristic, and I can't remember, there were a couple more in there. But then the very last skill, the very bottom strength was consistency. And that's like out of, I don't know if it's 30 or 50. And it makes sense. And that's why I don't do well with things that are administrative. That's why I'm not a good bookkeeper. That's why I wouldn't be a good accountant or something where you have to stay on. But what it does is it teaches you, well, as my business grows and I need to hire somebody, then those are the strengths that I need to hire for, because those things still need to get done.
Yeah.
Just hopefully not by me. So
I would like to give some shout outs to some people that are watching today.
Awesome.
Toby Robinson, remember Toby Robinson
Yes.
says, what up? Hey, good to see you. And my lovely friend Scott, my dearest and oldest friend Scott. Hey, and Jack Gorbett. Everybody loves Jack Gorbett.
Jack, he's an awesome and a funny guy. I love his comments and his posts. They're hilarious.
You know, Jack and I spent one summer together on the phone constantly. Like it got to the point where my husband was calling him my other husband and his wife was calling me his. So, you know, it was kind of like that. Yeah.
Last summer.
Yeah. So we just really talked and talked and talked. I got to know him really well. Somebody who knows a lot about like pop culture trivia from back in my day.
Oh yeah.
And, you know, and he's young and he just knows, he knows so much. He's got so much useless information in his head. I love talking
Just
to him.
drops those references and you're like, no one's seen that movie but me.
Yeah, so he's always an interesting person to chat with. So sometimes people say, do you know that Jack Gorbett guy? Is he okay?
Hell yeah.
You know, like he is
Jack's
more
good
than
people.
okay. So
I hear Jack's going to be co-hosting the open mic.
oh, that's right.
So worth checking that out. I'll definitely be there.
What you said about, I didn't hear what you said, Tara, what's worth checking out?
The Looking Glass open mic in Snohomish. Jack's actually going to be co-hosting that on July
awesome.
22nd.
Sweet, that's right around the
What
corner.
day is that?
That's a Thursday. Next Thursday, actually.
Why do you guys have to live so far up?
I know, right? Why you guys gotta live so far down? This is my second.
Right, there you go. See,
this week.
Wow.
all in where you're looking. So Tara, how are you feeling about our episode today? You got any issues that we need to discuss or tear apart with our scrutiny?
I have lots of issues, but they all exist on the freeway that I gotta get. I'm like, oh my God, by the time I get back out there, it's gonna be like balls deep into rush hour. So
right.
Balls deep. That's probably not appropriate to say.
That's
I'm
okay.
a girl. Strap deep. That's strap deep.
You know, I want you all to know that I was having bra issues today. I don't know why I'm telling this right now, but my boobs, like they must be depressed because they're just like on this downward spiral lately. Like, you know, I used to have to worry about a nip slip up top, but now they're trying to come out from underneath. They're just like about halfway through the day, they're like, oh, they just give up. And then I'm having to constantly pull them back up. So I came home and put on the sports bra and it was like, much better.
But,
Interesting.
you know, probably about once or twice a day, you get a nipple pop and the elastic underneath.
Oh, ouch.
You know, it just travels wayward south.
I need something that's just like it's like a tray that just holds them up and pushes them together.
You know what?
Like the trays they use, like
you can do this.
like the trays they used to use at the drive-in where they have the little like shelf and you just stand on your car
And
like,
it'll
pop
just
that
hold
up under there.
thing right here, and then you're just like,
I saw a thing on Facebook that had something, but I knew it wouldn't fit me.
oh, is it the
Uh-huh.
wire thing?
Yeah.
I want to get that because the strapless one where it comes together in the front, that's trash. That is garbage. I ordered one. I looked at it and I went, not going to work. And I threw it across the room.
Well, if you guys find one that works well, let me know because I've been needing
I know,
a little more
right?
support.
Yeah, pecs need love too.
I wish these were pecs. These are beyond pecs. The pecs are hidden underneath.
Hey, they're still there.
Exactly. That's true. It's right there with my six-pack.
Yeah, I have one of those too, under the keg.
Yeah, exactly. It's just under the protective layer.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay,
Well,
so next week we're supposed to have Todd Royce unless he gets all
He's
famously booked
famous.
somewhere else, whatever.
I know, right?
But that's why we want it. Is we want to go like, okay, give us like some
Yeah.
like how do you get booked here, here, and here? We want to know.
You got to make a TikTok.
And-
And then you got to have imaginary conversations with somebody that are just so charming and endearing. And then you got to be Todd Royce because that's
That's
the only
true.
way to unlock
and
this.
Tara, do you have a TikTok?
I don't.
I don't either. I still have not gotten on that bandwagon.
Well, you know what? It took me a long time to get on Facebook, and I just started using Instagram like last year. So
I'm going to encourage you guys to do the TikTok thing.
Everyone keeps saying
It's
that.
like if you spend an hour on Facebook, you end up irritated. You
Mhm.
spend an hour on TikTok and you just feel really happy because like the algorithm really goes by what you like.
So it's fine.
So like at first, TikTok was convinced I was lesbian. I got lesbian TikTok, which is fine. I don't care. That's fun, And then, like people will say, oh, this, they see negative stuff. I never see anything negative. Like I see animals. I see there's a monkey that opens presents. Which I
Oh, well,
think is
now I just
just,
got to get in on this.
I
doesn't
see
love
some
a
really
monkey
cool
opening
things.
presents?
Now I tried, there's a lot of me trying on bras on there. We don't need to watch those anymore. So, but I just keep getting the DMs like, aren't you going to do more bra videos? So I don't know.
Someone suggested I start, actually someone, my husband suggested, this one guy I know, I keep him at home, suggested that I start recording myself when I cross stitch. And I have seen a couple of those videos where it's someone and then they're like doing it to music and it's like you got Andre 3000 just rapping in the background. Well, you're stitching something with the word fuck on it. And I love doing that. I'm one of those subcultures.
This is like golf, like where I think, because golf is a very slow moving sport, it's like the sloth of the sports, but where do you have to be in life that your entertainment is sitting and watching someone else cross stitch for hours?
Are you here to kink shame, Andy?
Well, I'm just curious. I guess maybe I am. It's just like, how like sometimes it's just like, and I do it because I'm watching things that are really obscure sometimes, and I'm like, why am I intrigued by watching this? And sometimes it's just an escape, but
it's watching something come together. Like,
okay, that's a good way.
Some people go, top to bottom and they go in rows. I start in the center and I work outward by color and I don't know. I guess if you get boring enough and you receive enough Social Security checks, you get into this kind of thing and it becomes interesting. So I don't know. I was raised in a very lonely house.
I would like to see like the time warp version where it's like going super fast and then all of a sudden it comes
Okay,
together.
so now you've just inspired me. I will do Tim Curry as Frankenfurter and I will set it to time warp when I do this. That will be the first TikTok video that I do just for you, Andy. You guys heard it here first.
All right, we're out of time limit. We won't make it onto Instagram if we keep talking.
All right. It's been fun.
Been real, it's been fun, but it hasn't been real fun. All right. Bye.
Bye. It's been another episode of Scrutiny with Cheri and Andy, and this time Tara.
Oh, if you have any questions or comments, email our really long email address, which is
Scrutiny with Cheri and Andy at gmail.com. All spelled out.
All right. Bye.
Bye.